What's up guys, Zaid here, and today I'm going to be going over my buddy Matt's Sky Striker deck profile. He just hit Plat 1 in Master Duels, but before I get into the deck profile, go check out his storefront. Here's his Facebook page. If you want to buy or sell cards, go check him out and leave a like. It'll make me feel good as a friend, it'll help him out as a store, and let's get into the list. So, to start off with the list, the hand traps, of course, are first. He plays 2 Valor, 3 Max C, 3 Ash. I think Max C is definitely just standard in the format. Everyone plays 3. 3 Ash is standard because it's a good hand trap and counters Max C. Then the double Valor is because this deck plays the Helk into access code. Or Helk into Selene into access code. And then I think at first he was playing 3 Valor. I don't remember though. Or he was playing 1 then got 2. I don't know if he ever played 3. I was at his house when he was like getting into playing this deck. And it was cool because at one point he said he had lost like 5 or 6 in a row. And then he just like figured out the deck and then got into it and started performing really well. And so it's cool to see him hit Plat 1. Congrats, Matt. And then for the other monsters, there's 3 Ray, 2 Rose. In this format, it's kind of cool because back when we had Engage, I think we used to have Engage at like 1 or 2, and then we had Kagari at 1. And we didn't have Rose yet, but it's kind of cool that we have Rose now in this format. Makes for some cool deck lists. He also played 3 Gamma Seal, which I thought was kind of cool. The logic behind Gamma Seal is just like against combo, it outs whatever interruption's the most important. In the mirror match, you out their Link without Ray triggering, and you turn off their Widow Anchors and stuff. Against Eldritch, you can hit Golden Lord and turn that off. It just really versatile. And then there's VW players. I think without Kaijus in the question, I personally think it's correct to VFD after your opponent commits to the board. That way you can play around the infinite impermanence. And also if you have droplets, then you're able to use droplets to dodge cards like Chalice and an opposing droplet depending on what they send. But playing around those cards plays into a Gamma Seal, so if they wait until the main one, you could just drop Gamma Seal right on their VFD and kind of like turn off their whole combo for free. And then for the spells, Harpy's Feather Duster, and a best of 1, you gotta have some sort of back row removal. In this deck, maybe you wouldn't like have to play this card because you do have searchable back row removal, but I think this seems like a really cool inclusion. It's a 1-of, it's a spell, it loads the grave, and it just like clears all the back row. I think it's pretty cool. Then the Monster Reborn. This card seems really cool. He said that it's mainly just to like, you summon a tuner, you summon a big attack monster, and just put up damage, go for game. And I was also just thinking that it would be really strong in mirror matches. You target their Kagari, you target their Ray, whatever they have engraved that'll let you play. So in the mirror match, it's a starter. Against every other deck, it's an extender. And no matter what, it's a spell engrave. Then triple upstart. This card is like so strong in this deck. You're playing 37 cards, which you get to engage faster, but it also puts a spell in the grave. Then the Rhoda and Terraforming. These cards, search Ray, search area 0 that searches Ray. And then double engage. You have to play 2, it's at 2. If you play 1, you're crazy. If you play 3, you're cheating. Then 2 Afterburner and 1 Jamming Wave. I think these are interesting. At first when I was talking to him about it, I thought that you shouldn't play Jamming Wave. Because like, this card is just not as good as Afterburners to me. And it also like, and not only is it not as good as Afterburners, but you could just play multiple Afterburners if you wanted to, and Afterburners also pops back row. And you're playing this to pop back row. But in a best of 1, it probably does make more sense to have this because it's also a non-targeting monster removal, which could come up, and then it is back row removal if you don't have all 3. So like as a searchable 1-of, the card seems kind of fine. And then Afterburners to 2 is interesting to me. I don't know if I would play 2, but I also haven't play tested this deck in that format to know yet why I don't think I play 2. It just based on like the times I have played Striker. I don't know about that at 2. But it seems fine. It's searchable. It's a spell engrave. Clears Appaloozas and stuff. Then there's this dude, the Hercules base. This card's really cool for recycling Ray. And then just like the attack twice and get to draw is a really cool ability too. Help clear their board and then gain advantage from it. And triple area 0, triple multi-roll. There have been like a lot of lists online that don't play 3 of each of this card. And they seem very incorrect. Like back when we had multi-roll at 3, I think very few lists ever deviated from playing 3. And to me, that's for good reason. Like, it secures your other spells go through. It gives you like recursion. It's Spellbook of Judgment. Like you just get infinite advantage off of it. And then the area 0 at 3, technically 4 with terraforming, turns this when you draw that also into an extender. And then the fact that we have like double engage, Rhoda, and 3 Ray, you're going to a lot of times have area 0 plus Ray. And when you don't, you're going to have the multi-roll to trigger it to get it. And so I think this ratio seems really correct. Then Hornet Drones, play 1 because it's at 1. Widow Anchor, play 2 because it's at 2. And then Shark Cannon at 2. I think that seems like the right amount of Shark Cannon also. The only thing that really in the main deck that I think is interesting is not the only thing I think is interesting. The only thing I think that I personally, if I played it, would change is I'd want to play the Nibiru. But when I asked him about it, he said that he did try out playing one Nibiru and that it oftentimes was dead in hand. My theory on thinking you should play it is because when you get max seed, or not when you get max seeds, when you max seed them, you want stuff to draw into that's going to interrupt them from playing. And back in the day, I think I talked about this in another video. Back in the day when we played Maxi, players would play like Swift Scarecrow or Gores to ensure that they lived, stuff like that, Dragodia. And Nib is our modern day equivalent of that to me. And like I play a 60 card danger deck on here. I'll give you guys the profile eventually if you're interested. And I kill through Maxi most of the times I'm Max Seed. And so in my experience, I feel like players should play Nib. But if players are testing Nib and against the majority of the popular decks, they're not needing it, then that makes sense. It's a fair reasoning to me. But then the extra deck, 1 Kagari, you have to play 1. 3 Shiz, it's at 3, play 3. 3 Hayate, 2 Kaina. I don't know how often this comes up. I'm going to have to ask him that, how often the second Kaina comes up, because this seems like, maybe because Kagari's at 1, you just need like another name, but I don't feel like 2 is probably necessary. I also don't know what else I would put in, though. Maybe like a Hida or something, so you could summon Kagari's in the mirror match and summon Ashes against other people. And then there's the Helk, the Nightmare Phoenix. That's another thing. If you played Hida, then Nightmare Phoenix and any monster can go into Hida, grab Ash from their grave, do the access code combo. And then 2 Zeke, 1 Celine, and 1 access code. So list pretty cool. Thank you guys for watching. I hope that you gained some insight from my understanding of his deck, or just like got some cool tech ideas from the deck itself. If you net deck this and try it, let me know how it performs for you. And if you have any lists that you'd want to submit to me, if you've gotten plat, or like if you just have any really cool lists, even if you haven't gotten plat, my Discord will be in the description. Go ahead and like check that out. It's not like a group, it's just like my personal Discord, so feel free to message me images or whatever. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. Make sure you check out Matt's Facebook group. I'll also leave the link to that in the description. And see you later.